Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Secretary. Thank you for being here today. Mr. Secretary, having been at least a part-time Florida resident, I think you understand very well that commercial and recreational fishing in state and federal Gulf of Mexico waters is very important to the national and our regional economies. And as everyone here knows, NOAA announced earlier this month that the recreational fishermen along the coast would have a mere 3 days to fish for red snapper in federal waters. Over the past decade, the recreational private sector has seen annual seasons reduced from 194 days in 2007 to just 11 days in 2016. To 3 days in 2017. Now, I'm not going to get in the weeds on this with things like total allowable state versus federal data collection. I think my Gulf Coast colleagues have outlined those issues fairly extensively at this point in the several letters that we've sent you, your department, in 2017. I understand that in the absence of legislation, the agency is limited. However, going forward, can you assure us that you will use whatever tools you have to provide some relief to our recreational anglers right now and down the road, work with Congress, develop a long-term solution to address these issues impacting our recreational fishing and coastal communities?
I'm quite aware of the situation, and there was a letter sent by some 15 congressmen on the topic, led by Whip Scalise. And just last night, Earl Comstock from my office, who's our director of policy, had a meeting with many of those members. I don't know, Mr. Palazzo, if you were
Yes, sir. I was in attendance.
Part of it. I think where he pledged and I pledged, but we will try to make sure that there's an equitable solution to the conundrum of recreational fishing versus commercial fishing. But you're quite right in saying that our resources, in the sense of powers, is relatively limited in that area. So we are going to be making a very fulsome request of NOAA for the underlying data. They base the decision just to give one 3-day weekend for recreational red snapper catching. It seems on the skimpy side, but we're not the fish experts, so I promise you we will follow up and we will do the best we can to balance the needs of the recreational with the needs of the commercial.
Well, Mr. Secretary, I appreciate that, and I look forward to working with you and your team to help the recreational anglers be able to enjoy what pretty much, is their heritage and what they enjoy to do, and be able to get out on the waters and make memories that will last a lifetime. Right. So thank you, sir.
Well,